We've spent the last few weeks modifying this old TVR with a turbo, but there's only so much that we can fit in a top dead center episode, so we thought, why not do a full video about this car before it goes off for raffle? Firstly, the original car. This is a 1996 TVR Chimera 4 litre. If you haven't heard of TVR, you're not from the UK, that's completely fine. Not many people do. It was essentially a manufacturer that built homebrew sports cars in the UK out of fiberglass. They didn't tend to make them out of proper materials. They build a ladder steel frame chassis, plonk some fiberglass over the top and send you on your way. As such, this thing only weighs about a ton on the dot. This car I've been searching for this series. Will and I wanted to buy cheap convertible sports cars for the summer. Will managed to find a VX220 on the dealer auction site of CarWow. Up it popped, he bought it, so I went to look for a car, and somehow this car came up on CarWow as well on the dealer auction, and I snapped it up for £7,500. That is a very cheap TVR Chimera. They usually go for around about 10 is where they start to begin. It's finished in Brooklands green, which isn't actually that common of a colour. A TVR tends to be in a lot more crazy colours than this. This is actually quite subdued of colours. Inside, I believe someone actually commented they were one of the original owners of this car. It was not always Kermit the Frog green, but someone had decided they wanted to recolour the interior of it themselves, as you can see by the green brush stroke marks. But the only other thing that we knew when we bought it, the rear of a Chimera tends to have 16-inch wheels. The front tends to have 15-inch. This car has rear 16 inches on the front. Nice looking modification. The only issue with that is when you turn the wheel all the way to the end, it hits on the control arms. We have to install 10mm spacers with extended lugs to push the wheel out and make it fit. It also had some aftermarket suspension, and we also found a drop link at the front that was just completely popped off, that wasn't doing much, so we've replaced that. It's now safe to drive. The big thing that we did with this car for the series was turbocharge it. So, under here, we have the Rover V8, except it's not actually a Rover engine. It's a Buick engine from the 40s or 50s. It's stolen technology that Rover decided, we're gonna install that in basically everything we can put it in. So, it's in Rovers, obviously, Triumphs, Range Rovers, TVRs, anything English from the 70s, 80s, 90s, you could probably find a Rover V8 in it. This one, as you can see by the name on the top, it's not 400 horsepower. Or wait, maybe it is now, but it's 4 litres. It's also a lie, it's 3.9 litres. Same engine that you find in a P38 Range Rover, it's the same sort of thing. These made on a good day, they claim 240 horsepower. A lot of people were commenting in the first video, they never did make 240, they made 210 to 220. So when this car on the dyno made 240 NA, we were pretty happy with the result, but we wanted more, hence why you can see this contraption down here. So for this series, I decided I wanted to turbocharge this engine. My mum had one of these cars a great many years ago, and I always dreamed, how cool would this car be with a turbo kit? There was a guy in the UK called Ian Wally many years ago, and he developed a turbocharger kit for the Chimera. However, after unfortunately passing away, there were no more kits to be made. There is a finite amount of Ian Wally kits out there. I had a look at the beginning of us making this series and hoped maybe a kit will come up, but unfortunately one didn't, so we had to custom fabricate a turbo kit. Right here, the turbo itself, as you might even see in the title of this, is a tractor turbo. I did get this off a tractor. It's called a Holset HX35. People run them on all sorts of cars, BMWs, old Chevrolets, old American things. HX35s are pretty generally used for bigger V8 application turbo stuff. There are a lot of people commenting saying, if the size is going to be wrong. We weren't going for perfectly matched turbo size on this. We were going for a load of old turbo lag and an aim to get 400 horsepower. The other cool thing about an HX35, if you look over here, it's got oil feed on the top and a drain on the bottom, but no coolant ports. Lots of turbos will have coolant that runs through the center of it to keep the CHRA in the middle nice and cool. An HX35 doesn't have one. It does mean you have to be a little bit more careful, not as, just smashing it around all the time and then turning the key off, but it also made it a lot more simple for us. We didn't need to touch the cooling system at all, which was, as I'll explain in a minute, an absolute headache. So like we said in the video, these original exhaust manifolds, they come up and they meet with a Y pipe here, and then they go down into the exhaust. So what we did was you just took that off, fabricated up with Rich's Fabrications, this Y pipe, which dropped onto the turbo. We then run an external wastegate, because the HX35 does not have an internal wastegate for you to be able to control boost. So instead, we stuck on a tile 38mm wastegate on the outside of it. A lot of you were probably quite upset that we didn't run an external wastegate, and I would have loved that, but but because we knew we were potentially taking it on track, we just ran it back into the exhaust. So when that wastegate opens, you can actually hear from the exhaust the crossover of it. It sounds quite cool. So because we were going to run about 12 psi in this car, which is, due to my calculations, around about 400 horsepower, we would need an intercooler. Now the original TVR has an air filter that kind of sits here. You can get a cold air intake that sits down here behind the grille and goes up and around and in. So we just took that out, stuck an intercooler in here, and it meant one side was fine, but we did have to drill the chassis on the other side. What's the word, Will? Fashion is pain or something? Beauty is pain?
I'm not sure.
Something to do with
Something
that.
like that.
Anyway, this TVR's got an intercooler. If I was smart, I would have run this engine at about 4 or 5 psi, because supposedly the standard ECU and everything else could have understood that. We could have run the standard MAF and it would have been fine, but that wouldn't have been 400 horsepower. So instead, I decided to make my life a lot more hard, take out the Land Rover ECU in there, and there really was no TVR on it. It was a Land Rover stamp with the model number. Nothing changed there. Took that ECU out and spoke to a guy called Phil at Extra EFI. He makes custom ECUs for these Rover V8s. They are mega squirts. We've talked about it multiple times. It's not funny. It's just the name of it. He built an MS3 package for this car and then also spoke to a guy called Sean at MS2 Tuning, who was going to make me a custom loom, which meant instead of having to wire things in myself, he would make a custom loom which would connect everything from here, the Rover V8, to that ECU. Now that is made for anything with a Rover V8. You don't have to have a TVR to have that package. But what that did mean is because it's in a TVR, everything was hidden behind the dashboard. Everything to do with the ECU is down under here or inside this dashboard. And when I first got the car, I noticed, that's weird, the dashboard kind of moves, and I'm very thankful for that. You see, lots of the electronics are in here. They're behind this gauge behind here, and a lot of people, once they take this top dashboard off, which they have to do quite often because it's a TVR and it has electronic issues, they never put the nuts back on these bolts that go in there. So that made my life a lot easier. But we had to take this out, had to pull the whole engine harness back through and re-thread through the new bits. But once it was all said and done, Sean again from MS2 Tuning said, let me call in, we'll set up your idle and your bits and bobs on the laptop so that you can get the car started. Which sounds like an easy enough thing to do, but within that we had loads of problems. Firstly, the Volkswagen ignition coils, I'd set those up wrong, so that took a long time. Then we worked out that the wires themselves for the coils were too short. We had to order 3 sets of leads, which did finally fix it. I then had a nightmare trying to bleed the coolant system. We also then couldn't get the wideband gauge hooked up properly. These are all my issues, by the way. I'm just not that good at working on cars. We finally managed to get all of those sorted and got the car started for the first time. The result, as you might have seen, was on the dyno 415 horsepower and 430 pound-foot of torque, which is incredibly impressive and more than we were expecting, really. The car at that point, and to be honest, at this point, was still only tuned for a few power runs. Sean managed to just do some road tuning. The car needs to go on a dyno and have a full map made for it so that you can drive it around town without consuming hundreds of litres of petrol a second, because it does do that right now. So that's a quick overview of the car. 400 horsepower, it sounds cool, it sounds a lot, but that doesn't help you visualize how quick it is. So instead, I thought, how about we take some people out on it and see what their genuine first reaction to the car is, because a lot of people have heard about this car around this unit, they haven't been in it yet. Ready for drive?
Not yet. This is the new Holy Bundle Builder. This is really, really cool. So I've already added Daiquiri Dolphin, which I like, and the more you add,
give me a lemon,
the discounts go up. So if you want another lemon, that is now cheaper. You can also add your shaker in there as well, and sachets. So you can just build the bundle to whatever you want. We've been drinking Holy for well over a year now, and we always stay stocked up on all of it. They make clean, tasty drinks without the sugar crash. Whatever your vibe, there is something for you. You can get energy, hydration, or even iced tea.
Now my go-to choice is this, the lemon. You can hear there's not much left in it. I need some more, which is where the new mix and match comes in perfectly for someone like me who already knows what flavour they like. Add big tubs and get up to a 20% discount across all of it. Perfect for those of you that already know what Holy flavour is your favourite.
And like I mentioned before, there is no junk in any of these Holy flavours, and there is less than 20 calories per serving.
So head over to the Holy site, build up your perfect bundle, and use code 2DC5 for £5 off your first order, and then 2DC for 10% off all orders after that. Now let's go and scare some people in this TVR. Ben, if you could watch that.
What am I looking for?
You're looking for around about 10 PSI.
Yeah, it went past 10.
Past 10?
Yeah.
We don't want that. No, wait, what?
That's 10 then.
No, that's 0. We're in vacuum right now, so only when I get on it, it's going to go to 0.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Ready? No, you scared me. Ready?
Oh, yeah, just hit 10.
Jesus Christ, it's so quick.
I'm gonna say it. Now, it's not as powerful, obviously, but it feels like it's in terms of speed up there with the E55.
Yeah, it feels like
The way
E55,
it
yeah.
pulls you is similar feeling. That's ridiculous.
That is such a good noise.
You know, there aren't too many cars that make me that nervous, but
Well, the thing is, you've looked at buying a TVR before. You won't be that amazed. Don't expect that much. Remember, this is just an old Rover 3.9. They put them in Land Rovers.
oh, there we go. I think that turbo. Oh, I think the turbo belongs better on this car than a tractor.
It does, doesn't it?
Whatever the tractor was before was a ripper. Oh, that's quite quick.
That's quite quick, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, good lord. Oh, that sound. Is that the loudest turbo I've ever heard?
It is, and the thing is, this doesn't have a dose pipe like what I made for the Starlet. This is down
Pure.
on turbo noise.
Ah, right, wow.
It should. If it had a turbo cone on it, it would make way more turbo noise. You're a British car enthusiast.
Yes, definitely.
When we bought this car, you liked it quite a lot.
It is a bit of me, this thing. How much horsepower is this?
450.
Okay, that's a lot.
So it's quite quick, but it does now. So that's just a little one.
That is nuts! What?
Is that not a ridiculous
That
automobile?
is not just quick for like a car of this era or
It's just
anything.
quick.
It's just quick.
That's a quick car.
That blow-off valve's noise as well.
Yeah,
That
that's just with no what's it called, nothing on the turbo, so it could be louder, but it's just got a guard to stop anything going in the turbo, and that's it. The other thing, because of the rain, we're taking this easy. I'm deliberately not rolling into it as hard as I can. I'm trying to keep it up at the top. So that's like if you lay into it straight into the next gear, you get boost straight away.
This is, you know what? Fair play to you guys. When they were building this, I did not think they would get this done at all. And then somehow you managed to get it done in like a week.
I'm actually a little bit nervous about that.
No, don't be nervous.
I know what you're like, for one.
No, look.
And
Come on now.
I know what TVRs are like for two.
The first thing to note, right, don't expect too much. It is a Rover V8. Remember, these made 240 horsepower on a good day.
Which is a lot. It's a lot for a car this light.
And remember, we've got no traction control, no ABS,
I know.
no nothing, no anything.
That's why I'm nervous. If my jaw could go any lower, A, blowers, B, the noise, that turbo chatter goes on forever. I want this.
Is it not the greatest thing?
I must shake your hand. Edwin, fair play. But it's not sketchy. Yeah, I thought it would be boost and then lots of this, but it's not.
I'll lay into it for a second.
All right, there is a little bit of that. There is a little bit. This is such an amazing car.
Easy on the loo roll, Edwin. I've just had an operation.
Okay.
9 days ago.
9 days ago, that means you've had 8 days of recovery for TVRs.
Yeah, fair. Whoa! That's good! Wow, that turbo flutter! Oh!
But it's not that sketchy.
You'll have to do a bit more on the way back. Yeah. Just to keep my belly button in.
Back in.
Yeah.
Came out on the way out.
Yeah, this heavy braking is pulling it back out, yeah. Go on, let's do a first gear pull.
Okay, all right.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
All right, that'll do.
I was expecting it to be
Go on,
much
one more.
Okay.
Oh, my belly button is hurting a little bit.
Oh, it is. All right, no more hard braking.
I've been trying to stop myself from laughing for a while.
I might have undone it all. Do you want me to drop you at the hospital, or we just go?
No,
there, or?
just drop me.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll find a little corner to go and die in.
Don't expect too much.
That's so stupid.
How good is that? I think I've said this to everyone.
Yeah.
Please remember, don't let the people on the outside skew you. It is a Rover V8. We're not driving a 1,000 horsepower Supra. Just don't get your hopes up too much.
It's what, 400?
It's around about 400, yeah.
And the weight of this is
About a ton on the dot.
with us about.
Oh, maybe 2 tons.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tell me that's not great.
Wow. Blimey, my gentleman's sausage really like that.
So look, I'm gonna go third, right? We're at like 3,000 RPM, it's fine.
Yeah, go on.
Right?
Yeah.
Nothing. Now.
Oh, hell, bro. Oh! That is literally just a turbo V8. That's amazing.
So Will, you are the final person to go in the car. You also haven't actually been in this car yet.
Before it was tuned, we went out very briefly,
Yeah.
and obviously at Thruxton on the brief little circuit we made. But other than that, this is the first time I feel it on the road, full
At
beans.
full potential.
I'm a little bit worried.
Don't worry, why does everyone keep saying that? No, nothing.
It doesn't feel like much at first, and then it.
That is the definition of turbo lag. That is, no, this is going to be fine. And then all of it goes, hello.
Have all the boost. That was actually quite worrying. We should give this away with a spare pair of pants.
I'm going to roll into it from second. And now.
No, it's. I'm not going to say it's not. It's not going to say it's safe, but it actually puts the power down quite well.
Yeah, you'd think 400 horsepower, a 1-ton car, it would be much more sketchy. But
It just puts it down.
which I guess is the whole point of a TVR. It's supposed to be a little bit scary to look at, but actually okay to drive.
Whoa.
The Igo coming at Mach 10.
If you're in a car like this and an Igo worries you,
So there we have it, the TVR that we built with a tractor turbo on the end of it. You can win this car, tickets are under 20p. So if you decide, you know what, I should be the next owner of this car, A, God help you, but B, go ahead and click the link in the description, buy a ticket, support the channel, and we'll go ahead and build more dumb stuff with the money.
if you dare. That's actually quite scary, but very fun. So one of you are really going to enjoy it.
Thank you very much for watching. Click here if you want to watch more. We'll see you next week.